everyone. It's Dr. Bhairavi, the Sky Priestess. And as always, we're just going to give a little bit of time for the peeps to come online. I guess it's a okay time for most of you. Those of you in the States are going to be winding down for all states. Canada, Mexico, the Americas are going to be winding down for the night. Same with those of you in Europe and Africa. Well, it'll be a little later for you. Maybe you're night owls. And then there's, of course, those of us in Asia and Australia, and it's bright, broad daylight. So today we are doing Hello Neighbor 62. I see fam. Hello, fam. Hello, fam. Hi. So today we're doing Hello Neighbor 62, which is the 62nd installation of this series inspired by Reverend Fred Rogers. So we're just going to give a little bit of time for the peeps to come along. And they do, usually about half an hour after I start, which is, I'm not complaining. It just is what it is. I see Dusana as well. Hello. Good to see you. I see we are getting a little crowd, which is fantastic. So today I just wanted to check in. No big agenda, no huge spiritual message, just our regular old community check in, the stuff you want to talk about. If there are questions that you have, if there's some, just something that's on your mind that you want to share with everybody, go ahead, feel free. Hello neighbors are open for the most part. No spam and stuff like that, obviously. Um, I see Evie Love. Good morning. It's been so long since I caught you live. Lucky me. Well, it's nice to be seen. It's nice to be seen. And it's always good to connect back with the community. So, whilst people are trooping in, I'm just going to give you a lowdown of what I've been doing recently. Now, actually, 186 of you requested and have received the gift installation of Tier 23. And I'm very happy that I was able to provide that to so many of you. And some of you wrote back going, yes, this totally resonates, which makes sense because that's the whole point. And I'm very glad to have been able to do that. The pilgrimage itinerary is finalized. We're going to be in France and Spain between April the 8th to April the 13th, visiting places like Mary Magdalene's tomb, where she arrived in France with her daughter, Toulouse, Lourdes, Montserrat, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot that's going on with the Black Madonna and Magdalene pilgrimage. So I'm very excited. Woo woo! So we're doing that. And I see Astral Omens. Hello. So it's good to see everyone there. Just a quick catch up. Again, it's a hello neighbors. So floor is open, for most things. If there's anything you want to talk about, any questions you have, this is your time to ask it. Astral Woman says, ugh, I wish I could go. I feel you. I tried doing this pilgrimage 8 years ago. And I was supposed to go to the Pyrenees, however you say that. And I was like completely waylaid in Barcelona, had my passport stolen, ended up trying to go see the Black Madonna Montserrat. And when I went to see her, there was this huge, like pea soup thick, like cloud right all over the mountain. And people were there like, I have never seen it last that long. So, tricks on the seeker, so to speak. But then I had to leave that pilgrimage. So I'm finally completing it 8 years later. So sometimes these things take time. I am going with a lovely sister, lovely friend of mine called Miriam Negre, and she has had a lot of experience meditating in the caves near Montserrat. So she's going to be on point for that, and I shall be facilitating and working my magic in the world everywhere else. I see Zuri the Dreamer, hello. I see Super Hams, hello. It's nice to see all of you. We're just doing a hello neighbor today. Keep it light, keep it breezy, or ask heavy things if you want. Hello neighbors are open, for the most part. Astroloman says, I'm so happy you're getting the chance to complete your journey. I am too. I mean, when I got the nudge, actually, this is the weird thing. I've been trying to watch a Joe Hisaishi concert for like 2 years because my health was so bad I couldn't go, and I saw that he was performing the little piece Howl's Moving Castle, which is what baby Josh likes. Seriously, I hold this child and he just completely relaxes. So whenever I hear that music, I can only think of baby Josh. And I saw that he was performing this along with other Studio Ghibli songs. And I was like, Spirit, I can't move. How am I supposed to get to Paris? And Spirit's like, you're going to want to go. I'm like, okay, fine. So I waited and waited and waited for months. I'm like, no, I still can't move. How am I supposed to go do this? They're just like, wait. So I was like, all right, fine. So now my health is getting better, thanks to some good friends, community support that came in, and so I can go. And apparently, it turns out this is what I was supposed to do anyway. It just came under the lure and the guise of Studio Ghibli. Sometimes you just never know how you're drawn somewhere. You just are. Candy sends a heart. Hello, Candy. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I mean, it's a bit hard to have a community dialogue when I'm the only one technically talking, so I'm going to need you to type in so I can hear back from all of you. Oh, and the Creatrix sessions have been going like super, super, superlatively well. They're completely exhausting, so I've had to like put it down to one a day at most. And if you do that, you don't do anything else for the most part. They're extremely intense. I have received wonderful, wonderful feedback. People reconnecting with their, if you want to call it divine feminine, creatrix, destructrix aspects all across the board. So I've been doing that, and it is good because again, this was work that I was doing something like 8 years ago, and then everything went, as the British say, tits up from there. Let's see. Dawn, hello, Dawn. Hello, Dawn. Astral Woman says, oh, yeah, that's so awesome. That's so true. Synchronicity is so amazing. Yeah, and sometimes it comes down to faith, you know? It's just like, really, why do I have this ticket? How can I move? How am I supposed to go, Spirit? And eventually things happen. And Dawn says, hi, 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 hi. So yes, Dawn is my buddy, and we actually met at a cupcake store. And I was there for some event. I was helping someone pick up some somewhere, and she looks at me, and I don't think she'd mind me saying this. She looks at me, and there's someone else with me at the time, and she looks at me and she goes, "Are you the Sky Priestess?" And the person I was with was completely flawed because this was some small town somewhere in the States. But yes, since then, Dawn and I became friends, and we do all kinds of cool things together, including watch Paddington Bear, which you have, if you have not watched the Paddington Bear movies, you are missing out. They are incredibly deep and moving. But yeah. And Dawn is my bud, so I call him my Paddington friend because that's our deep thing, Paddington Bear. My brother says, well, it's quite suspicious that they have like marmalade in deepest Peru, and the jars they use, the specific jars that you find in England. So he's just generally suspicious of Paddington, but then again, that's just the way he looks at things. Um, but sometimes you make friends and you make connections in places and times and spaces that you just don't know. You don't know it's going to happen, and then boom, you meet someone and your life changes. That's just how it is. And sometimes it's in a tiny cupcake store in the Midwest somewhere. But yeah, so anything that anyone wants to talk about, it can be light or can be heavy, whatever it is, let me know. It's a hello neighbor. It's your space to talk, and for me to try and stay as engaged as possible. Subaham Hamsin sending good vibes from Oregon. It's very windy where I am at. Ooh, probably good kite flying weather if it's not too cold. I see Karine. Hello, Karine. Hello, hello. I see more and more people are coming, which is nice, which is nice. Hello, neighbor is always our get together space, so to speak. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Little heads up, little catch up. How have you guys been? What's been going on? Let me know, and I'll try and respond if I can. Let me just think. Is there anything else? Mm, I don't know. N Black says everything has been um, chill around these parts. That's very good. Chill is good. Chill is fine. Chill is great. Astral Woman says, wow, so amazing that you're talking about meeting a person who just changes your whole life. I wanted to ask you what you think about twin flames. Before that, I see Polly who says, hi, DB. Hello, Polly. Okay, twin flames. All right. Well, twin flames exist, but they are not always what you think they are, because people want to sell shit, because people have unresolved trauma from codependent wounds from this lifetime, from previous lifetimes, and because they have not done their own family of origin work, they tend to romanticize the twin flame concept. There is a really good Korean movie that explains this really, really well. It's called Along with the Gods, or Along Came the Gods, something of those lines. And in it, they actually show how there's a man who is seen as a paragon of virtue, and he deeply, deeply wants to support his mother, even though he has died. He's a young man, he's died, and she's all alone. So, he basically makes an appeal and he says, look, I just want to be near her. It doesn't matter how. And they transform him into a potted plant that she keeps with her at all times. And that's how the son's soul accompanies the mother. Twin flames can even be like that. They can literally be any being, any spirit that is around you. So it doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to be human. It doesn't have to be animal. It can be a plant. It can be anything. So yes, from my understanding, a twin flame is someone with whom you feel like, they're already a part of your soul without the romanticization of it. It's just so natural that you're just more yourself and they are more themselves when they're around you. At least that is my view of it, but I don't agree with most people on most things because I live by experience, not dogma. So, that would be my take on twin flames. They exist, but they don't, it's not always that you and me and you, hallmark forever, forever. But that is my experience of it. But yeah, and sometimes you just meet people like Dawn, who may not necessarily be a twin flame, but is a soulmate. And you can meet beings like that who change your life, definitely. Now, this is the thing about soulmates, they are people with soul contracts. And sometimes these contracts are very pleasurable, sometimes they're joyous, sometimes they're wonderful, sometimes they are full of shit. Just because someone or something is your soulmate, even if it is a twin flame, if it is no longer in alignment with your path, you got to say no and go. So that's how it works. Okay, Dusana, thank you. Movie name is Along with the Gods, Two Worlds. Yes, it's an amazing movie. It's a fantastic movie. I highly recommend it. It is great. And the guy who plays Death is hot. So it's good. Um, Super Hammam says the full moon in Leo is kind of intense for me, but I'm feeling a lot better now. That's good. Vivi says, hello, Dr. B. Hello, Vivi. Good to see you. Polly says, I love that take on twin flame, Dr. B. Glad to hear it. Astro Woman says, yes, I agree. They romanticize a lot. Do you think that it's possible to have more than one? I wouldn't say it's impossible, but if you're feeling a similar feeling of soul recognition, that may be what that is. And so you're in resonance with that person. Twin flame is a bit different in my experience. It's like, it's a lot more than recognition, and literally you may not even be able to tell the difference between your body and the other person's body depending on how sensitive you are. So that is on a different level entirely. I can't speak for your experience, but there is a difference between the two. Kimberly says, "Hey Sky, hello, 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 hello. Nice to see people. We have a little crowd, which is nice, which is always good. Community time. I've just been recapping what I've been doing for the past couple of days, talking a little bit about the pilgrimage, the creatrix sessions, etc., etc., and we're just opening the floor to the community now." Ray says, good to see you, Dr. Bhairavi. Excited for your plans this year. Ooh, I lost a friend, co-worker, comrade recently from their asthma after getting COVID. It's awful, but bringing folks together at least. My condolences. That is not fun. COVID, yeah. COVID sucks. It does. It does. And I hope you are taking care of yourself as you need to. But it forces people to forge community. In some sense, I think COVID was COVID was this covert mental hit on all of our psyches, and it feels like people just kind of boxed up their minds. With all of this technology and information and education, you think people's minds should be more open, but the opposite seems to have happened. And of course, the people who are fighting to create greater community and greater solidarity with each other are ones who are actually fighting against that wave of fear that COVID unleashed. Says, thank you. It was preventable. Building community and organizing is very meaningful at this time. 100%. We're only going to survive in community. That's about it. And Black says, so one of my fur babies has been coming home the last month with a full belly. Oh, I found him at an elderly neighbor's home keeping her company. That's so sweet. When you said full baby, I was going to ask, so who's paying the child support? Jusana says COVID is still hitting again and again. Oh, yes, it's not gone anywhere. But that initial wave of fear that got set in 2020, 2021, that's going to have long term impacts, long term. People aren't afraid of it anymore, though. I mean, I am quite alarmed by how laissez faire different governments are about it. And I'm just like, you do realize this can still kill you just because you think it's a non-issue. But it's still around. People have just become, I'm not going to say immunized, haha, but people have just kind of disassociated from their fear. And there is a useful component of fear and there is a useless component of fear. And unfortunately, they are ignoring the useful part of it. I see, and Black's laughing. Hearts Unite say hi, all. Hello, 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 everybody. So, anything else anyone wants to share? Anything to talk about? Let me know, let me know. Yeah, just doing things, trying to get my life back together this year. After COVID and so on, decided to rip me a new one. But like everybody else, piecemeal, piecemeal. Um, okay. Astro Loman says, yes, I agree. I did have way more experiences with that relationship. But I think after experiencing it for the first time with him now, I can see it in everything and everyone, like you said. You shouldn't be seeing it in everything and everyone. That is, honestly, if you're seeing this in everybody, that may actually be an issue with your boundaries you want to look at. Deep soul connections, okay, I can get that. But if you're seeing it in everything, no. You're not meant to live that way, honey, just because it's going to take too much of energy and that is eventually going to drain your life force unless you do a lot of rigorous work to replenish. So if it's with everybody, check your boundaries. VB says, I got a positive info from the company I interviewed for that I would be considered fantastic. I knew good things would be happening for you, VB. I knew it. I knew it. It's just a matter of time. Sometimes it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of faith. And you just got to stay with faith. Even when times are down, when you feel like, oh God, things are never going to get better, that is precisely when you need faith. So I'm so glad that things are starting to look up for you. And Black says, yes, it got us all. Last year felt like a blur low point for me. I get it. I get it. Hearts Unite says, how can you tell if someone new coming into your life is old karma, old patterns? I mean, sometimes meeting a person from old karma is good. I mean, sometimes not all karma is bad. You exist on this planet because of karma. Once you clear your karma, you are out. So, not all karma is bad. It is whether or not it's a negative pattern. That's what you need to be looking at. And whether or not you've met someone before has nothing to do whether or not you have a negative pattern with them. You could meet a soul for the first time and still find that they are doing shit things. So just look at whether or not the pattern is good or not. Don't be afraid of the word karma. And Black says, congrats, VB. Astro Loman says, no, I mean a soul recognition, like seeing the divine in everyone and everything. Yeah, okay, that's legit. That's legit. That's a good clarification. I'm like, if you're unifying with everybody that way, that's a bit. But that's good. Try and, well, not actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say, try and have a look at some of the harder things in the world right now and see if you can see the divine in there, but that might be a bit risky. So enjoy what you're experiencing right now. Let's see. Hearts Unite says, thank you for the reframe, Dr. B, and congrats, VB. Tracy says, hi, Dr. B. Is it possible for one of the twin flames not to recognize their partner, or is the connection so profound it can't be ignored? Thank you. Okay, well, here's the thing. Point number one, twin flames do not always have to unite, right? When we believe that they have to reunite in this life and something is going wrong, if they don't, that's our problem. The thing about twin flames, as I said, it can literally be a plant that decided to show up. It can be a sibling. It can be a parent. It can be anybody. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. So the thing about twin flames, from my experience, is that it is what it is. If they don't recognize it, they don't recognize it. Maybe it's not the lifetime for them to recognize it. And you also have to be very careful about false twin flames because they literally read almost exactly like the same. And goodness knows, I have been to so many readers who could not tell the difference. And that pisses me off in retrospect. But no, at the end of the day, if you are in a relationship with somebody or something, the twin flame label should not matter. It shouldn't matter. Because it doesn't matter if they are the end all be all, because you don't know what your end all be all is. You don't know what you will be. And the first point, if the person is ignoring the signs, twin flame or no, tell them to fuck off. No offense. But that's about it. If someone is not treating you with the respect you deserve, if someone is not reciprocating, forget the label. Look at actions first, would be my advice. Just because a lot of people get away with a lot of bullshit using these labels. And sometimes the lesson for the twin flame, assuming it's a real twin flame, is grow up and come back in a few lifetimes later, and I'll see if I'm still available. Sometimes that's how it is. So, don't worry about the label. If they ain't treating you right, walk. But that is my view, and I don't really hold hands unless it's someone really nice and it's nice and safe. So, yeah, yeah. So, good question. Seems like we're on a twin flame vibe. Woo! Anyway, anyone listening to any cool music? I am just, as usual, listening to what I usually listen to. Anyone listening to any cool? Anyone doing anything fun? Let me know, let me know. It's just our usual hangout space, and we'll see what comes up. Or do we have more questions on twin flames? But like I said, I recommend that movie. It's really good. Oh, okay. Hearts Unite says, yes, I'm a piano genre from South Africa. I don't know what that is, but I will look it up. Kimberly says, I'm currently listening to Megan Thee Stallion's new song. Yeah, she put me off for life when I saw her twerking on that piano. Pianos are sacred objects to me, and I was just like, nope. But I understand for others that could be a very attractive thing, but I was just like, you do not go near a piano with your ass, woman. But anyway, um, yeah. Teraf says, hi, Sky Priestess. Hello, fam. Hello, Teraf. Hello, Teraf. Good to see you. We're just sitting around with the community and, just chatting by our virtual campfires, so to speak, trying not to scare everybody with spooky stories. Um, Anadonis says, hey, Dr. B and folks, label tend to constrict opportunities for growth, I found. Correct. You don't need a label because if it's the real deal, it will be the real deal with or without the label. So, nice. I see Monroe. Hello, Monroe. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Um, and I was thinking about you 2 or 3 days ago. I'm so glad to see you now. Polly says, I love the feistiness today. I appreciate it. I got some sleep. Kimberly says, I had no idea. Can you elaborate what makes the keys so sacred? This is new to me. No, it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing. It's not something that I would say applies to anybody else. I grew up with a piano. I had this old piano that my grandfather got for me. It was from an old church, and I spent most of my childhood on that piano. So when eventually we moved to an apartment, couldn't take the piano, and so I never really was able to touch another one again. I mean, and once in a while I've dabbled with keyboards in various universities, but it's just not the same thing. But it is a very personal thing. It's not a general thing. So, let's see. Vivi says, "Is this a good time to look forward for a relationship?" Yes, Vivi, it actually is. Go look at relationships. Go meet lovely people. Go do things that make you happy. Just do your due diligence. That's all. And Tiraf says, I've been listening to a lot of 60s and 70s music lately. That's a good, solid decades of music. My brother likes calling me a golden oldie because I have always listened to music from that era. And he's just like, you're so old. Oh, well. It's just called having taste. Um, Polly says yes, no labels required. Monroe says Aquarius in the building. Woohoo! I was thinking about you too. I missed the last live. It's okay, bro. I hope you're doing well. I really do. Kimberly says, "Oh, okay, understood. Yeah." Um, Super Ham Ham says, "I've been connecting with cottonwood trees recently." What are cottonwood trees? I don't know what they are. Let me have a look. What is cottonwood? I mean, do they look like they are covered in cotton? Is that why they're called cottonwood? Let me see. What do they look like? Okay, I can kind of see it. Yeah. Astroloman said is what you say is definite is perfect, and I agree. I'm definitely at a place of healing. And why I asked what you believe was I've been really wondering if twin flames are simply just a catalyst. They can be. Sometimes they last. Sometimes they just come and go. And sometimes they come back. Sometimes they don't. They're just spiritual connections at a different level. And when we try to label them with the expectations of the here and now, that's when things get really muddy. But sometimes they do last. So, I'm not going to rule that out, but a lot of the times it's more of an activation and sometimes it's a false thing. So, be careful of that too. Monroe says, "You look better. Thank you. Thank you. I'm getting better." Oh, he's given up on love. I'm sorry to hear it. Rick Howell says, "Music, Lil Nas X J Christ." I have not heard Lil Nas X, but apparently I'm not sure what they pronounce her, but they do good things in the world, so that is nice. Let's see. Polly says, "Anything we need to know in terms of astrology today?" Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Anything that jumps up? Well, in terms of the astrology today, the big things are still Venus are trine Jupiter and Mars is still conjunct Mercury. So there's a lot of building energy going on. Relationship building, finance building, building your own strength, building your will, building your legacy. All of that is hammering along in the background, and just keep on that particular path, keep on going, keep on flowing. Let me just see if there's anything else. I think that should be enough. Um, Astral says for a spiritual awakening that some souls choose. Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, you don't need a twin flame to awaken. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It is not a necessity on the path, though sometimes it is. It's so variable. Another one says, "What is everyone's favorite instruments, or what would you play if you could use any of them?" This is a good question. Piano, always the piano. Um, Monroe says, "I'm still stuck in Brazil during Carnival. Boo hoo! Boo hoo, Monroe!" That sounds awesome, though. What a time to be stuck in Brazil. Flute and guitar, but love the sounds of rag, dilruba, etc. Okay. Hans United says, "I love piano, handpans, maracas, tambourines, and saxophone." That viral saxophone sound that came from that Moldovan group that played Eurovision a couple of years ago. That saxophone sound that goes do 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 do. I've been holding Josh and he's just been vibing to it. So we've decided that's another Josh song. And if you look it up, someone actually made an animation with Squirtle, the Pokemon, holding a saxophone and playing. And someone actually put it on a 10-hour loop. It is strangely comic. Super Ham Ham says, "Native Americans, cottonwoods are a spiritual tree and consider a tree of life." Makes sense. And thank you for sharing. Dusana says, "Favorite instrument, chakra overtone drum." Okay, we have more information on cottonwood. Cool, cool. Okay. Candy says, "I wish my singing voice was more pleasant, lol." Just sing. People don't like it, they can wear earbuds. Just don't try singing in the Philippines. That seems to be a nation of karaoke singers. I mean, it's like, yeah. I don't know if I would sing there. Um, let's see. Polly wants to know what's it like to be stuck in Brazil. Anandonis says, "Out of a few instruments I've noodled on, my favorite was the ngoni in a pentatonic scale." That sounds cool. If there are any videos of that, send that to me if you don't mind. Hearts Unite says Josh has good taste. Haha, I will have to check it out. Josh has great taste. This little boy, he knows what's up, and he's super cool. Except when it comes to his sisters. But apart from that, he's super cool. Uh, Tiraf says, I play the djembe, drum, and singing bowls. I love drumming. Wish I could play the guitar well and piano. Drumming is good. Drumming is life. Monroe says, poverty is the same in every country. Music in the streets and beer. That's not a bad thing. Shannon says, hello, 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 hello. Ray says, wish I could go back to Bahia, Brazil to enjoy the music and people there. Planning to watch the film Harold and Maude soon and enjoy the encouraging Cat Stevens soundtrack. Nice. Christine says, harpsichord and the harp are dream instruments. It is good. It is good. I love both. Polly says, yes, Josh does have great taste. He does. He does. Monroe says, I'm in Bahia, yes. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad the community is talking to each other. And yeah, just as a reminder for those of you who just have, logged in, I'm going to be in France and Spain, April 8th to the 13th. So if you are around, let me know, let me know. And yeah, it sounds like everyone is having a decently good time. Like I said, 2024 is the first year that I can honestly say I have hope. Because VB asks me, every time, Dr. B, is this going to be a better time? Is this going to be a better year? For 4 years, I've been like, nope, nope, nope. Oh, Monroe, you don't know about this pilgrimage. I'm doing a pilgrimage to Black Madonna and Magdalene sites in France and Spain, April 8th to the 13th. So, yes, yes, it's on my website. It's on my website. Anatoly says, I don't have any videos of it, unfortunately, since it was years ago, but I look for a video of someone playing on YouTube for you. Thank you. Polly says, what's happening in France and Spain? So we are going to the tomb of Mary Magdalene on Eclipse Day. We are going to the place where she landed with her daughter. We are going to Toulouse. We are going to Lourdes. We are going to Montserrat in Barcelona. And we are going to go look at all of these Magdalene and Black Madonna sites. That's what we're doing. Open pilgrimage. Everyone is welcome. You pay for yourself, obviously. But we are community fundraising because I need the funds to get there. So, and we're also going to be filming it. So we're going to be sharing parts of the experience back with the community. So I would greatly appreciate people putting some funds in that fundraiser. But, and of course, you are more than welcome to join. So, those of you, Monroe says, I'm broke, so I'm not in the program. Lol. Oh. So for those of you who are interested, just let me know, drop me a line. Hearts Unite says, I'm planning on coming. That is great. That is great. Polly says, sounds lovely. I wish I could join you. Anadona says, Monroe House Carnival. We're about to do Mardi Gras in the US. Super Hammam says, that's amazing. Monroe says, too many guys in miniskirts. Not a comment I expected to see today, but that's okay. Shannon says, would love to come, but don't have the funds right now. No worries, no worries. I mean, I know it's a tough time, but as I said, Spirit just kept nudging me to do this for like months when I was like, how do you want me to move? So, I am like, all right, Spirit, you want me to do this? You're going to get the funds for me. That's about it. Monroe says, it's confusing to me. I don't know who is LGBT or just Carnival. I suspect there's a huge overlap. Polly says, at least it made you smile, men in skirts, lol. That reminds me, when I went to Paris, and this was years ago, I was with my best friend, and we were going at the Louvre, oh God, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Louvre, but what else? We were there, and there was this statue of a hermaphrodite Venus, so hermaphrodite, and I immediately just went Venus with a penis, and I have never forgotten that phrase. It just fits so well. Heart Unites says, Polly, there are benefits to being self-taught piano over being classically trained. If it makes you happy, go for it, I say. I agree. I agree. I tried working with a piano teacher, but most of the time I was just like composing myself and just playing by ear. And but I actually found much more enjoyment working on it by myself. And yeah, it just formal instruction has its own space, but if you want to be more creative with it, I think there are probably better ways to learn. Anonymous says, if a fat sack drops in my lap randomly, I will contribute to the pilgrimage for folks too povertized to commit to going, despite how incredible it sounds. I understand. That's why we are filming things. And of course, it takes money to travel, it takes money to film. My co facilitator is also a videographer, so that's why we want to bring it to people. That's why I wanted an open pilgrimage, because it didn't feel right to charge people money for this. I have been on trips where people charge for it, and it's never sat right. And the one time I tried doing it solo for someone, it never felt right. No, this should be open. So that's why it's an open pilgrimage. Um, Shannon Seven says, mini skirts complement men's legs nicely. We are in a different space today with today's Hello Neighbor. We are definitely doing something different today, which is not bad. It's not bad. Men do tend to look better in mini skirts, I have found, especially cyclists. Them cyclists. Ah, hang on. Let me just get that link. Hang on. Oh, no, that's me laughing on my computer, which I thought I had muted. What? Come on. No, 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 computer. What are you doing? Sorry about that. Just trying to get this thing going. As you know, technology, whilst I use it, I'm not exactly a super tech person. There we go. That's the link. All right. Monroe says, I started something, I guess, long. Yeah, I'm going to blame you. I'm going to blame you. People are usually better behaved, but you are here today. I'm going to blame you entirely. Let's see. Ooh, another one says, has anyone seen the image of the worker guy in a skirt and heels? I think he's a European, but it was fabulous to see. I have not. That sounds fun. Send me that too. But yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that's what's going on. And so good to hang out with everyone today without feeling like I'm absolutely dying, which is great. Um, so yeah. Anything else before we wrap up this sesh? It's been a good sesh, which is nice. I like it. Though, yes, as I'm in France, I have been informed that there are probably going to be farmers legitimately protesting against the state by pouring tons and tons of poo all over the roads. So that's something to look forward to as well. But yeah, just, some of the hazards of travel might get a lot of poo on the road. But that being said, it is probably good that they're protesting. Kimberly says it was a great session. Yeah, sometimes things just click, the right crowd comes along. And having said that, oh, okay, Monroe says learning Vedic astrology. Fair enough, fair enough. All systems work, but at the end of the day, the skill lies in the person doing the reading. You can read for someone with a cowrie shell, with Vedic system, with the Western system, with any system. At the end of the day, as long as you're aligned with spirit truly, it'll be all right. Um, Polly says, thank you for the chat today, Dr. B. Uh, okay, hang on. I am going to. Okay, I'm starting to see some strange comments come. Ah, here we go. Um, It was nice vibing with y'all. Anadonis says, hey, US, follow in the French protesters' footsteps. Hint, hint. I'm sure there's a lot of manure to go around there. Christine says, they're throwing eggs too, besides dumping poop. Polly says, a good reader is a good reader. That's true. Monroe says, since we last talked, I've learned who Karpasamy and Bhairava is by manifestation. Excellent. Excellent. Keep going. Superham says, thank you, Sky. And just to answer the question that came, do I like Israel? Huh. I don't like what they're doing now. I have issues with what they were doing even as an ancient kingdom. And free Palestine. By the way, that reminds me, I actually got some soap from Nablus or Nablus, however you say it, because it's funny. My brother and I have been trying to find soap here, and every major company is on the boycott list. So Yeah, so he actually ended up just buying some Palestinian soap. So, gonna smell olive oily. Monroe says, I don't like trans. Yeah, understood. And he says, haven't eaten Sabra hummus in years. Good. Shannon says, what are they protesting again in France? I believe it's agricultural policies. Ray Cowell says, thanks, Dr. Bayeri. Always, always free Palestine. Christine says, Netanyahu is vile. Well, it's not just one man, it is an entire system that enabled it. So, hopefully, the more pressure we put, the more change will actually come. But we got to keep it up, and we got to keep our voices up and loud and proud. And we just got to keep standing up for what is good and what is right. And for those of you who are interested, there's a very little, sweet little journalist I follow from Gaza. Her name is Lama Jamous. I think she's 9 years old. And she's this little, cute, small, little, dark skinned child. And I just look at her and I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? And she bravely walks around and you know, she bravely walks around and she shows all of these things, and I'm like, you are a baby, what are you doing? But she's probably one of the more followed journalists out there, so have a gander. But having said that, I send all of you very many blessings and much, much, much love to everybody. Keep it cool, keep it chill, do good things in the world, and ciao ciao for now. Oh, hang on. All right, hang on. Before that, if anyone wants to support Palestinian entrepreneurs, there is a company that is selling high quality olive oil from that region. I forget the name of it. It's higher cost, but for a good cause. Send it my way, and I'll put a post on it. Bye.